S.T.E.M Research is the show, and I'm Mike Love. What's up? Let me let you in on a little secret. I'll let you in on a little secret in a minute. Welcome. Song tracks, essential music, and a little bit of research. That is what we do on this channel. I am here on a Wednesday. Monday, Wednesday, and Friday is the new schedule, the new layout for the show, because I can't do it every day. I can't. I would love to. But this show it's like my favorite thing to do. It's because I'm telling people I'm semi-retired from DJing. What does that even mean, semi-retired? Fam, you're either in the game or you're out of the game. Like, people still text me, to email me. How many DJs do you know, like, turn down gigs and it's not because their wife made them? You know what I'm saying? Like, how many people retire from the game and it's not because your wife made you retire? Like, I know a gang of people who over the years, like, I gave up DJing, I stopped doing it, blah, 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 et cetera, whatever. And the pandemic just kind of just let the air out of my sails. It was like, just 2 years of just kind of sitting back, not really getting out, not really doing a lot of gigs, and just getting comfortable with that. I was like, man, I'm cool. I'm cool chilling. Then I started working and had less time. So people still reach out to me and they're like, hey, can you do this thing in the summer? Hey, can you do this thing for New Year's Eve? Hey, can you do my graduation party, my bar mitzvah, my wedding? And I'd be like, I don't even pass them on, which is like the worst thing. Like, what you're supposed to do is just go, no, I can't do it. And that's what I've always done. I can't do it, but I can recommend someone. And I'm not even recommending someone, which, is so unlike me. S.T.E.M Research is the show, and I am here to break down songs into their individual tracks. That's what the letters in S.T.E.M, song tracks, essential music. We start out with a song. We break it down into its individual parts or tracks. It's drums, it's vocals, it's keyboards, it's guitars, it's bass, it's strings, and if there's any other instruments, horn. Did I say horns? We'll do all of that, and so it's one part music, one part musical breakdown, one part music history, and one part just musings of a madman. I'm the madman. Welcome. I talk about the things, the stories behind, not only the stories behind the song, the research part, but my personal interaction with the song. Sometimes I grew up listening to the song. Sometimes the song just is a hot song that I just wanted to spotlight on the show. So, as I said, we're here Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Friday is the best of, and I'm already trying to figure out. Let me know, guys, if there's an episode that you remember. You can DM me. You can what do they call it on Twitch? You can whisper. If there's a favorite episode or a favorite breakdown that you like, let me know. Shoot me a comment, and I'll get to it. I may program that one. I haven't decided. I've kind of decided because I heard Roxanne. I've been listening to The Drive a lot. The Drive is the classic rock, one of the classic rock stations here in Chicago. And let me tell you something. Like, you can love a radio station for like a week and then you're sick of it. Like, that is radio in a nutshell. I started listening to I've listened to The Drive as long as it's been on in Chicago, and I'll go back to it, and it sounds so fresh after about a week. Not even so much hearing the same songs over and over because those songs are classics. I love hearing them. But just the whole presentation and like commercials and all of that, I love the flow. I wish I could, if I could go to my Spotify and program a rock station to play all of the hits and all of the songs that I grew up listening to, like The Drive, but without the commercials, I would be a happy, happy camper, because they drop in like random Led Zeppelin joints that I'd be like, what the is this? This is a heater. So I was about to say that I was listening to The Drive and they played Roxanne by The Police. And that shit goes hard every time. Pretty Woman, the movie, and Roxanne, the song, are like the Captain Save-A-Ho of life. You know? Sting wrote a song about basically saving a hoe. Like, you don't have to go out in the street and sell your body for money anymore. Come hang out with me. Let's go have dinner. Bro, you're saving a whore. Pretty Woman, same concept. But the song goes so hard, man. I love that song. Is like 2.5 minutes long, 3 minutes tops. Anyway, I broke it down on STEM research with just the same excitement as I have when I hear the song. Like, when I say I love Roxanne, I think Roxanne is my favorite Police song. Like that, just because of the way it goes. It goes into this reggae. It's like reggae, and then it's like hard rock, and then it's reggae, and it's hard rock. So there's a STEM research with that. I think that's when I was doing 3, when I was like, we'll never run out of stems. So that may be this Friday's. It depends on what the other 2 stems. I'm going to look through the archives and I shall see what's going on in the world. Okay, I'm just talking to myself. Nobody chats anymore because they're like, dude's not doing the show live. He's not doing the show live. Why would I chat? Why would I come and be in a chat? So tonight's song track, Essential Music. We are normally we would do Motown on Monday, but I'm so excited to have It's a Shame by the Four Tops. It's a Shame by the Spinners. I was so excited to have it that I couldn't wait till Monday, and I wanted to present it tonight. And as I was doing my research for the song, there are so many little stories tied into the song that really got me excited. Where did I put my notes? Okay, there they are. I was so excited because it's 1970. The song is written by Stevie Wonder. It is allegedly, however, written by DeWitt Yancey, who happens to be the father of J.D. But let me not rush into the story. Let me say hello to everyone that is on the chat, whether you're on Facebook, or you're watching us live on Facebook, or you're watching on YouTube or Twitch, Twitter. Shout out to everybody. Thank you. I actually... Like, I was scared to go live because every time I go live, something glitches and trips out. But everything's been going smooth so far. So far, so good. And it's actually live. Like, I could actually pick up my phone. Anyway. So, the Spinners, of course, being from Detroit, G.C. Cameron is the lead singer of the song. And, the song was not made famous by Moni Love in the 1990s with her remake. It just was like a nice little remake that kind of made you go, oh yeah, I remember that old song from back in the day. It's a shame. My sister, my sister. Remember that? My sister, it's a shame, my sister. It was like the opposite, or it was an answer song to what the song is about, because this song is basically about a guy that's being done wrong by a woman. Song written by Stevie Wonder, Lee Garrett, and Sarita Wright, who ended up being Stevie Wonder's first wife. And so here's where the alleged parts start to come in, right? It's like Stevie Wonder just couldn't have written this great song, this timeless song. And when I was doing my research, and I came across this quote that J-Dilla's dad had been going around telling people that he ghost wrote the song, I really had to like dig deeper into it, because there's just like a little line in the Wikipedia about the song. So I'm always, my research is 3, 4, 5, 6 sites. YouTube, I go through videos, I go through Wikipedia, I go through Genius, and I listen to the song as well. So, DeWitt Yancey, his first name is Beverly. So Beverly DeWitt Yancey, the father of the great J-Dilla, or J.D., the late producer from Detroit, his dad was a performer. They lived in the family lived in Detroit. They were not necessarily a musical family, but he played in bands, and he was a musician. He also wrote songs and helped Kim Weston get her career off the ground. Kim Weston ended up being on Motown Records. So, legend has it, according to DeWitt Yancey, J-Dilla's dad, he writes the song It's a Shame, gives it to Motown Records. They take the song, thank you so much. They give him a car. He's paid in a car. They give all of the credit to Stevie Wonder, Lee Garrett, and Sarita Wright. Why do I keep saying Saida? I'm thinking Saida Garrett. They give all the credit. He gets a car, no credit, no nothing. Now just imagine a black man. Now, the reason why the story has legs, number one, because it was written in a book. There's a brand new book out about J-Dilla, and that book is called Dilla Time: The Life and After. Hold up, let me go to I gotta go to the main page. I gotta get the name. I hate that, because I'm trying to read it at the top. It always goes back to the first page, except for now. The life and afterlife of the blah, 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 the blue, blue, blue. There it is. Go to title page. There it is. Dilla Time: The Life and Afterlife of J-Dilla, the hip-hop producer who reinvented rhythm. All right. There we go. So, I want to go back to where I was in the book. So, anyway, can you imagine? So, Dan Charnas wrote this book, and he is, getting stories about J-Dilla's life. And one of the stories is J-Dilla's dad has been telling people since 1970 that he wrote It's a Shame. Now, at some point in their family, that story becomes the truth, because regardless of whether it happened or not, the way black men tell stories, every time that song came on, he was like, I wrote that song. I wrote that song, right? It's like it's like his Al Bundy, 5 touchdown moment. It doesn't matter if the song is on or something else from Motown is playing on the radio. There's a Motown 25 special. This man, DeWitt Yancey, I'm willing to bet, is telling the story that he wrote It's a Shame. It's a Shame is a song because of me. Let me read the the excerpt from the book. DeWitt would tell his family and friends that in the late 60s, he had another brush with Motown, ghostwriting a song called It's a Shame and selling it to the label, which, according to DeWitt, gave him a Ford Cortina. I'm guessing that's a car. I've never heard of a Cortina. It wasn't before my time, but it was obviously short-lived. Gave the song to the Detroit Spinners. I hate when they call them the Detroit Spinners. It's the Spinners, okay? They're the Detroit Spinners in the UK. They're the Spinners in the United States. And gave the writing credit to Stevie Wonder, Syreeta Wright, and Lee Garrett. It's a Shame became the Spinners' first hit in 1970. But DeWitt Yancey had little to show for all his work, neither in credits nor cash. He'd married a woman named Alice Scarborough, and they had 3 children, 2 girls, Beverly and Tracy, and a boy, Mark, whom everyone called Dwayne. DeWitt's work, okay, so it just went back into the book. But anyway, they eventually go on and interview the people that were there, like G.C. Cameron. So G.C. Cameron was the lead singer of the Spinners. He's still alive. Like, there's not many people that's still alive that they could talk to. They were like, hey, you were in the studio. The other person they talked to was I need to go back to this point in the book. Page A. Okay. We're almost there. I can feel it. Nope, we went too far. Basically, they talk to the people that are still alive. G.C. Cameron, who also famously sang "It's So Hard to Say Goodbye to Yesterday" first. The version with the organs that was in Cooley High. The saddest song of all time. Come on, bro. I was 9 years old crying watching Cooley High in 1975 because of that song. That is the saddest song ever recorded. His version of the song. I don't know what Boyz II Men did with the song. So G.C. Cameron actually left the Spinners before they moved on to Atlantic Records because they only had one real major hit, the song that we're going to do tonight, It's a Shame. That was their hit on Motown Records. Once they left the label, it was Aretha Franklin, who is also from Detroit, who said, hey, you guys should come over to my label, Atlantic. They made it happen. They really weren't doing anything on Atlantic until they got with Tom Bell. Tom Bell became their producer, and the rest is history. All of the hits that we played not only on this show, but everything they did post It's a Shame. So this song is still a Funk Brothers production. This is 1970. It was recorded in Detroit. Dennis Coffey played guitar. I know that because Dennis Coffey is also one of the few people that is still alive that was in the studio that was like, nah, I don't know this DeWitt Yancey guy. He didn't have anything to do with the song. G.C. Cameron says he used to go by Stevie Wonder's house, and Stevie Wonder was singing the song to him. He was playing the song on the clavinet and eventually wrote and recorded the song. So, like I said, sometimes when a black man has a story and we tell it enough times, it becomes facts, it becomes the truth. The people that were involved in the studio said that never happened. But I think I don't know. I listened to the song. I want you to listen to the song. Does the song really sound like a Stevie Wonder song? Honest to God, truth be told, I did not know Stevie Wonder wrote and produced the song before I started doing the research. So, label me, you know, I guess that's something that I'm supposed to know. Being a musicologist, a person that loves music, a person that knows history, loves music history, loves Stevie Wonder. So I didn't know it was a Stevie Wonder song. I'm not saying it doesn't feel like a Stevie Wonder song. I'm just saying that it doesn't feel like a Stevie Wonder song. It feels like a hit record, though. I mean, that opening guitar, everything is classic. It's a classic song, and we are presenting it today. Again, who knew that there would be a connection between J-Dilla's dad running around for 30, 40 years telling people he wrote It's a Shame. Like I said, to the point where it became fact in the family. Oh, yeah, Daddy wrote that. Yeah, yeah. Because, again, like a black man's stands, like if he stands on something and that quote and that story becomes fact, regardless of whether or not it really happened. I don't know. I wasn't there. How long did he have the Ford Focus or the Ford Festiva? What was the car he was driving? Oh, by the way, and one more note before we go into the music and start breaking down the song. So G.C. Cameron did not stay with the Spinners. He left the group to go solo when they left to go to Atlantic Records. Guess what happened? He got with one of them Gordy girls. Oh, those Gordy girls are the worst. They break up everything, man. Gwen Gordy, who was the sister of Berry Gordy. Where have we heard this story before? Oh, we heard this story with Jermaine when he decided to stay with Motown and be with Hazel Gordy. Oh, also Marvin Gaye, who married, a Gordy as well. And granted, she didn't have anything to do with him staying or leaving the label, but I'm like, man, the Gordy women had to be some really, really bad. Like they had game. You think about it. They are convincing major artists who are in love with them to not leave the label. Like there has never been a decision that I made. I love my wife. I love her to death. I love every woman before her up to my wife. Love them. But they have never been a part of my decision. Like whether I am or am not going to do something major in my life. Like I'm going to leave the group. That was the worst thing. I mean, but then again, everything happens for a reason, right? G.C. Cameron leaves the group and Felipe Wynn comes in and they completely go to another level. So it was destined. It was destined. It was destiny. It was supposed to happen. And in some alternate universe, as I always like to say, G.C. Cameron stayed with the group and Tom Bell produced them on Atlantic, and they were completely different, and all of those songs sound different. So let's go visit. We'll do a what if. We'll do a what if for that one day. All right, let us dive into the song. What we do here on STEM Research is we take a song. We start out with the instrumental track, the original studio masters, the original studio tracks. We dive in, we listen to it without the vocal, we strip away the vocal, and we just vibe with the music to hear if there are some things musically that we did not know about. like maybe we weren't hearing because we were so involved in the song and singing the song. And so let's take all the lyrics out. Let's strip that back. Karaoke it up, as I like to say, except this is not a karaoke instrumental. These are the Funk Brothers with Dennis Coffey on guitar. That much we know for sure. Everybody else, I don't know. I don't know who's on it. You know. Oh, it's arranged by Paul Reiser, who is one of the Funk Brothers. Background vocals by the guys in the Spinners, Bobby Smith, Purvis Jackson, Henry Fambro, and Billy Henderson. Lead vocals, as I said, by GC, It's So Hard to Say Goodbye, Cameron. Instrumentation by Stevie Wonder and the Funk Brothers. So Stevie played on this as well. And it was the first song and the first act that Stevie produced outside of himself. So there you go, hit record. So let's dive into the track. It's a Shame from the Spinners from 1970, from the Second Time Around album. Not like the first time. It's S.T.E.M research. Y'all know I got to take it back. Y'all know I got to, come on. A count in? It's the little things for me. It's the little things. We're in studio mode. We are live in the studio. It's 1970. Stevie Wonder's behind the board. Michael Jackson's Michael Jackson's in L.A. Let's take it back to the top, man. Let's do it one more time. It's a Shame. Live from the Studio Master. D. Nyree, what up? Mr. Majors, what up? Strong horn section, strong. Heater, boy. No strings on this one. No strings at all. So that's what's standing out to me that I would not notice because of the singing. Breakdown. What I'm noticing is the horn section is incredible. This is a strong horn section for a Motown record. In 70? Come on, horns! Hey. Miss Aima. Good evening. I like the horns too. That bass is moving too. It's like they lost their mind at the end. Like, it's like confusion. The drummer stopped everything. Like, what happened? Like, what happened? Like, everybody's going strong, and then you got to bring that back. All right. So the Funk Brothers, as I said, on instrumentation. Dennis Coffey on one of the guitar licks, because that's two guitars. There's a rhythm guitar. Like this is a bad song, man. Like, this is one of the greatest songs ever recorded, right? Look, I really, really like this song. Like, if I'm making a Spinners playlist on Motown, like, this is the one. I know it's literally the one, but man, the instrumentation really goes hard on this. Let's go with the drums. We'll just have Mr. Majors, Capricorn's Cave, all of my Motown heads. Just throw out some of your favorite Funk Brothers. Who could possibly be playing? We'll start out with the drums, because that is what we always do on this show. So now we go into the breakdown of the instruments, the individual instruments. We solo each instrument, which means just play it by itself, so you can get an idea of how great the song was as it was put together, instrument by instrument. That's funk right there. Of course, we hear Jack Ashford on tambo. Let's drop Jack in. That's not even a Motown signature drum. Listen to the drums. These are like funk drums. Like, this is not Motown. This is Motown influenced by funk. Like, this pattern is like a hip hop drum pattern. Show has really changed how I listen to music. That does something to my heart. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for saying that. It changed how I listen to music too, man. As a matter of fact, like, you know. These drums are woo-wee. So I'm guessing Pistol Allen or Uriel Jones. We'll give it to Pistol. All right, man. Those drums were incredible. It's a shame drums. They carry the song. The song is a Motown. Maybe that like so this show, STEM Research, is the show that made me a fan of Motown. The Motown of my childhood. I liked a lot of the songs, but I didn't love them. I love them now because of the knowledge that I've gained from doing the research for this show, and also because I listen to the songs and I hear them differently, and I'm able to go in and pull back the covers. I don't know, pull back the screen and hear and see things, hear things that I have not heard. Now the bass line in this record is like this is a record that I like. That was my point. I'm always losing my point. I like this record a lot before this show, and I didn't know why. Now I'm finding out why, because it's funky. And a lot of Motown records were not funky at that time. They just weren't. They didn't make funky records. They made Motown records. So whether or not JD's dad actually wrote the song doesn't matter, because it was produced by Stevie Wonder. Ooh, nasty. Of course, on bass with the Funk Brothers, circa 1970, could be Bob Babbitt, could be James Jamerson. Let's see if that's whose fingering style this is. Oh, that was nasty. That was nasty. I'm willing to bet that's Jamerson. Of course, Mr. Majors will give us the official perspective of who he thinks it is. But that was a little nasty part. Let's take that back. He is all over that bass, bro. He is all over it. Breakdown. All right, bring the bass back in. Michael Henderson also played bass with the Funk Brothers. I'm learning. So I'm literally on their page right now. Okay. All right. So 4 minutes of that, man. All right. The guitar parts, which are broken into two separate guitar, a rhythm guitar, and it's so funny because it plays like it's just one part, but obviously, you listen to it and you can tell it's two different guitar parts. One of them is Dennis Coffey, who went on to have his own top hit with Scorpio, a song that was sampled heavily in what's Bust a Move and Jingling Baby. Like, you talk about a song that covered the gamut of pop. The breakdown is Bust a Move, and the beginning of the song, da 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 da, is Jingling Baby. Like, who knew? All right, so I always wanted to hear what this sounded like, just one of the guitars. So let's start out with guitar 2. That's a Motown lick. Now, this guitar lick is the most Motown-y thing that I've heard so far, because it sounds like it could be on a Jackson 5 record. Like, it's very Motown. All right, so that's the rhythm guitar part. Let's just a second of it. I just want to hear it by itself soloed. Oh, snap. Okay, so just the entire, you talk about a 2-part guitar harmony that really plays well. This 2-part guitar, this guitar 1 and guitar 2, as I said, like, I know that it's two guitarists. You can tell because one person can't play like that. You can't play that like that. But it plays as one rhythmic part, which is incredible. So I'm going to play both of them together, and we'll listen to both of them together. Maybe he went back and dubbed it. Maybe Dennis Coffey played both parts, because they sure interviewed him for that Dan Charnas book. It is so locked in. Just the rhythm. This is why I love STEM research, to be able to do this. This is why it's the greatest show on the internet. Nasty. Motown 1970. Detroit. Listening to how it was recorded, it sounded like it was definitely overdubbed because there's no bleed with any other instruments. Maybe Dennis Coffey did do both parts. Super dope, super dope. Hey, hey. That's so dope to me, man. This guitar is the song. Oh, I went to a different octave there. Okay, all right. They're like, let's try this. Nope. All right, so these horns, we're just gonna listen to the horn section all the way through. Not a lot of instruments. We got drums. Did I play both drum tracks together? Drums, bass, guitar, two guitars, and the horn section, which is also absolutely ripping this song apart. Let's start out. Let's give Jack Ashford some love. You know what? We haven't hit the tambourine. No Eddie Bongo on this. No strings. They stripped it down and did an excellent job stripping it down. Horns, baby. Come on, horn section. Hear you, sax. That reverb, that Motown reverb. Horns definitely, I mean, but of course, it's Detroit Symphony Orchestra probably. Nasty. Horns are tight. So it makes sense that the horns. So Paul Reiser, as I said, arranged the song. Is a funk brother himself, and also plays the trombone. He plays the bones. So it's not a surprise that the horns are so strong on this song because he arranged them, and he's a horn player himself. All right, we are moving through this song. Not a lot. You know, if you got 8 tracks in 1970, according to band members from Curtis Mayfield, who performed on Superfly, they said they had 24 tracks. They had 24 tracks in the year that they recorded that, which is like 71, 72, 73, one of those years. However, this song was recorded on 8 tracks. You know, they was doing. That's why they had to move to L.A. because they was like, "Look, man, we tired of things being like we can't expand the studio. We must move." All right, so G.C. Cameron on lead vocals will be able to break down his lead. We'll be able to break down the backgrounds from all the members, and all of the members of the Spinners have the ability as vocalists to sing lead individually, which is why they will be singing their own backgrounds. They always sang their own backgrounds. Even when they started recording at Sigma Studio in Philadelphia, they were recording their own vocals and not using fake backgrounds.
It's a shame the way you mess around with your man. It's a shame the way you've hurt me. It's a shame the way you mess around with your man. I'm sitting all alone by the telephone waiting for your call. When you don't call at all, it's a shame the way you mess around with your man. It's a shame the way you play with my emotions. It's a shame the way you mess around with your man. You're like a child at play on a sunny day. First you play with it and then you throw it away. Why do you use me?
Come on, GC.
To confuse me.
All right, so let's bring it back. Let's do some backgrounds. And then we'll do G.C. Cameron's lead vocal. Let's do all of that just to see, you know, how they worked as a group, singing background, stacking their vocals, and the whole you digs.
Shame, ooh, shame, ooh, shame, ooh, do 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 do.
All right, they might have took that. They might have took that little part out. Okay, so let's take it back again, and let's take the background out. Now let's just hear the lead vocals, courtesy of our lead vocalist, who was leaving the group because he's dating a Gordy, and
for your call,
you already know.
When you don't call at all, it's a shame the way you mess around with your man. It's a shame the way you play with my emotions. It's a shame the way you mess around with your man. You're like a child at play on a sunny day. First you play with love, and then you throw it away. Why do you use me?
Come on.
Play to confuse me.
Take it up.
How can you stand to be so cruel? Why don't you free me? a shame.
Okay, so I'm not doing the song justice by letting all of the background, because there's a lot. There's 4 background vocal tracks. 1, 2, 3, 4, and only 1 lead vocal track, and it's drowning in a sea of song. So let's just let it play a little bit with just GC's lead vocal, so we can kind of get an idea of where he was going with his vocal gymnastics. Man, he's killing it. He's absolutely killing it. All right, let's bring it back a little bit. There we go.
Why don't you free me from this prison for certain my time as your fool? It's a shame the way you mess around with your man. It's a shame the way you hurt me. It's a shame the way you mess around with your man. I tried to stick with you, show your love so true, but you won't appreciate the love we try to make. Oh, it's a got to be a shame.
That's the part. That's the part right there. That's the part, the breakdown. All right, let's bring it back. Let's hear the group vocal. Let's just use 2 tracks and see.
Shame, ooh, shame, ooh, shame, ooh, do 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 do.
They are absolutely killing the doo-doos. Their doo-doos are the shit. Let's bring that back, man. They're killing it.
Shame, ooh, shame, ooh, shame, ooh, do 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 do. Oh, it's a got to be a shame.
That's just your backspin. You got to.
Why do you use me? Play to confuse me. How can you stand?
Come on,
to
give him the
be
set.
so cruel?
Give him the setup.
Why don't you free me from this prison? Set my time as your fool. It's got to be a shame the way you mess around with your man. Oh, it's a shame the way you hurt me. Oh, it's a shame, baby, the way you mess around with your man. You've got my heart in chains, and I must complain. I just can't be confined. Oh, look at me and say, oh, it's a shame. It's a shame the way you've hurt me. Yeah.
Come on.
Got to be a shame. Oh, yeah. Gold. Shame.
He snapped. He snapped really, really hard. Like, he snapped so hard, he was like, I'm going solo. Like, that's I'm going solo snap. And most of that didn't even make the record. That's 3 minutes and 43 seconds. Let me tell you how long the song is on the album. 3 minutes and 10 seconds. So you guys got an extra 33 seconds, 20 seconds or so of just him snapping. All right, so let's take out the background vocals. GC Cameron, as I said, decided to stay with his dip. Gwen Gordy. Ah, my God. Iris, Gwen, all of these Gordy sisters, man, cousins. They had to be the baddest women in Detroit, man. I'm telling you. But they had money. Usually, in those days, especially in the 1960s and early 70s, like if women were fine and had money, like they didn't come from money. The Gordys just were smart, and Berry Gordy started Motown Records with an $800 loan from the family. Not like let's say it was a Def Jam, or so many of these label ventures started out with the parents giving them $10,000 or $5,000 or whatever. Like the Gordys had a plan in their family where they were basically like, look, if you got a good enough idea or good enough something, we're put, like, everybody in the family put into this pot, like weekly, monthly, regularly. So the pot is like the family pot, and then the family would sit around, which is probably how Berry Gordy got the idea of the quality control. So they sat around as a family and voted on whether or not they should loan you the money from the pot. Not give you the money and you blow it or do whatever, but it's a loan. So you're taking out a loan with the family, which is very self-sufficient, because you got to pay that money back. And, of course, Berry Gordy paid that money back and then some, that $800 that started up Motown Records. All right, so let's go back to G.C. Cameron. We'll just play his lead, snapping all the way through, and then, shit.
Why do you use me? Play to confuse me. How can you stand to be so cruel? Why don't you free me from this prison? I've served my time as your fool.
So,
Got to be ashamed the way you mess around with your man. Oh, it's a shame the way you hurt me. Oh, it's a shame, baby, the way you mess around with your man. You've got my heart in chains, and I must complain. I just can't be confined. Oh, looking back at time. Oh, it's a shame. It's a shame the way you've hurt me, yeah. Oh, got to be ashamed, oh yeah. That gold. Huh.
he smack himself. Nice.
Oh.
He snapped. Snapped hard, man. Mr. It's So Hard to Say Goodbye to Yesterday. Come on, man. The To Yesterday version? Man, To Yesterday. Boys, the men, like, really screwed that song. Another thing I found out, Freddie Perrin of the Corporation. I was hoping that when GC went solo, left the Spinners, stayed with his Gordy girlfriend, like so many others did. I was like, oh, maybe he wrote It's So Hard to Say Goodbye to Yesterday, and maybe he's been getting checks. Nope. Freddie Perrin, who was 1/4 of the Corporation with Berry Gordy, Fonz Mazel, and Deke Richards. He and his wife wrote It's So Hard to Say Goodbye. And that song, oh my God, I was listening to that today. I was like, Jesus Christ, this song. No wonder I was bawling in the movie. The song sounds like a funeral. Like the original It's So Hard to Say Goodbye to Yesterday is a funeral on wax. It starts out with a funeral organ. It's just like, man, we could have did all these great things, but you got beat up under the railroad tracks and hit your head, and now you're dead. It's so hard to say goodbye yesterday. But he does have, I mean, hey, he can hang his hat on that. He's got It's a Shame and that song. All right, so let's go to the background vocals.
Shame, shame,
It sounds
shame,
so clean. Now I want to hear GC with some instrumentation. Let's bring it back. Let's bring it back one more time. Bring it back one more time, guys.
To be so cruel, why don't you free me from this prison of serve my time as your It's got to be a shame the way you mess around with your man. Oh, it's a shame the way you hurt me. Oh, it's a shame, baby, baby, the way you mess around with your man. You've got my heart in chains, and I must complain. I just can't be confined. Oh, looking back at town. Oh, it's a shame. It's a shame the way you hurt me. Yeah. Oh, got to be a shame. Oh, yeah.
It's a Shame. Allegedly written by JD's dad, DeWitt Yancey. Of course, JD. I'm sorry, I called him JD. That's his old name, J-Dilla. So the Detroit connection is connected to this song, man. This guy was going around forever. I wrote that song. Had absolutely no real proof. Oh, damn! I need to find the quotes because I want to read that. Where is that? Here, okay, here it is. I can click on it. I want to be able to show you guys, but I can read it. All right, so in the book. In the Dilla Time book, they go into detail, anytime they have like a quote, like they have to, back it up with like, this is our research. And in the research notes, it says, DeWitt's ex-wife, Alice Scarborough Yancey, says that she witnessed DeWitt writing this song. And members of the Yancey and Hayes families have long taken DeWitt's authorship as a given. Like I said, he's been going around saying that shit for 40 years. Oh, yeah, he wrote that shit. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, all right, bro, you wrote it. She watched him write it. His ex-wife watched him write it. So the author, now in his notes, this is the author's notes. I was unable to find corroboration for this story from anyone on the Motown side. Gee, there's a surprise. None of the people I interviewed who were involved in the recording of It's a Shame, including Dennis Coffey, Paul Reiser, and G.C. Cameron, the lead singer of the Spinners, have a memory of DeWitt Yancey or his involvement. They don't even remember the guy. Paul Reiser's still alive, G.C. Cameron's still alive, and Dennis Coffey is still alive. God bless their souls. God bless them. Cameron's narrative of the song's creation is quite specific. This is G.C. Cameron's quote in the Dilla Time book. When I came home from Vietnam in 1967, Stevie Wonder became my best friend. One night, we were at a club somewhere hanging out in Detroit, and he said, "Look, man, I got this tune for you." And we came back to his mother's house. He lived in the basement because houses in Detroit had big, beautiful, big basements. And this guy's a storyteller. Man, the basements, bro. That's where he kept his clavinet. And he sat down on the stool of the clavinet and he sings the melody that would become Dennis Coffey's guitar intro, which is the ding, 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 ding. So, and think about it, the clavinet sounds like a guitar. So there you go. And I say, I like it. I like it. They called us the next day and said, Stevie needs you guys in the studio to record tomorrow. And on the third day, God rest it, I recorded It's a Shame. That was 1970. Though it was not unheard of for Motown songwriters to buy others' work and present it as their own, the only way for DeWitt Yancey's story to be true is if Stevie Wonder, one of the most prolific and original songwriters of the 20th century, also engaged in this practice. Did Stevie Wonder get his song from DeWitt Yancey? A representative of Wonder, his brother Calvin Hardaway, relayed the answer to me through Paul Reiser, no. So there it is. The song It's a Shame, 1 degree from J.D. 1 degree from J-Dilla. J-Dilla's dad was a songwriter and a musician, and he claims to have written the song. Everyone in Motown's like, I don't even remember the guy. I mean, that's history, bro. That's history. I don't even remember him. Like, who? DeWitt Yancey? His first name is Beverly, but they call him DeWitt. That's his middle name. And if I'm not mistaken, J.D. or James DeWitt Yancey, that's why he calls himself J.D. or J-Dilla, is because his middle name and his father's middle name are the same, DeWitt, or D-E-W-I-T-T. So James DeWitt Yancey or J.D. or J-Dilla. Either way, that's STEM research for a Wednesday. Short, sweet, to the point. Got in, got out. Let's see who was on. I can actually do that now, right? I can actually go and see who. Let's see. Let me click on live for viewers. Claire Sturshai Story, D. Nairi, Miss Aima, not Mr. Beast Contest, On 3D, Shy Puff, Simsei 08, and Caxis PS 06. Thank you guys for being on the Twitter feed. Don't know who's on Facebook. Either way, shout out to the Facebook fam. Shout out to everybody on, I think we're on Instagram too. Instagram, Twitter, Twitch, and YouTube. All the episodes of STEM Research. If you miss an episode, you can check it out on YouTube. Follow me on all the socials. As you can see on the screen, I have my social media accounts, Bandcamp, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, what's this thing? YouTube, Twitch, and $ Mike MFN Love would be Cash App. And thank you to everyone who has donated via Cash App. Yesterday was my birthday. I tell you, man, my birthdays come and they go. I got the quietest birthday in the history of birthdays. Like, if you know it's my birthday, and shout out to everybody that sent me a text. Shout out to everybody that messaged me on Facebook. And shout out to everybody that shared because my birthday is not in Facebook birthdays. So it's like, whose birthday is it today? Mine hasn't been there in like 12 years, bro. Like, you cannot go on Facebook and like you have to know somebody that shared a post 6 years ago on my birthday and they're still sharing it. So shout out to all those people that are still sharing posts from 6, 5, 4, 3 years ago, and shout out to the people that just made new posts, because I'm not gonna make a post. As a matter of fact, I don't even post on my birthday because I'm working. What did I do on my birthday? I worked. People are like, what did you do on your birthday? I worked all day. They didn't even know it was my birthday at work, because I don't publicize it, because I'm old, and old people don't publicize their birthdays. Well, some people do. Anyway, so thank you for being a part. Let's go to the close. Shout out to the S.T.E.M gods. Shout out to DJ Emmanuel, who has laced me and blessed me with a whole bunch of new multitracks. So we'll have some very exciting shows in the next few weeks until I run out again. Friday is the best of, so make sure you look out for that. I know it's not the same, like, oh, it's live. The show feels live, but it hasn't been live. It's been recorded, man. I've been recording the show, so it's people are like, oh, he's not interacting. So shout out to those of you who are still watching and still a part of. Hey, I tell you, I do this show for me. And people are like, and you will be doing it for you, and you'll do it for you, and it'll just be you. That's fine. So whether it's 500 people, 5,000 people, I'm going to do S.T.E.M research because I love doing it. And I love pulling back the covers and pulling back the shade. Pulling back whatever. I always think of it when I go back and watch the show. I'd be like, I have a word. I don't have a word when I'm doing the show, but I have a word when I'm watching myself do the show. S.T.E.M research, thank you. Thank you to everybody that watched. Thank you to everybody that supports. Class is dismissed. See you Friday. New shows Monday and Wednesday, 8 p.m. Central. 9 p.m. Eastern.